You should be barricaded in your house and kept off of the street, or sterilized, lobotomized, left in a car in heat. Cause the things you say and do tell me your brain cells are with you, and that is why I hate you.
Jeez, why was that so loud to me this time?
It was, I don't know, it wasn't loud to me.
Oh, wasn't it? It was really loud for me for some reason. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. My ears are usually plugged, and shot to shit from years and years of abusing them with loud music in small rooms. But
welcome to the podcast, everybody.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? We've been
I'm Hakeem, and I'm with my co-host, my buddy Matt.
Hey, you're doing my job. I like it though. We've been off for a while. Well, not technically. I just released an episode because it took me that long to get it out, even though we recorded it like 2 weeks ago. But we had a bunch of fucking shit causing issues for us to record. But we're back. We're here. We got shit to talk about. I have several things I want to talk about that I'm just so lividly angry about for no reason. But I was just gonna tell you before we started, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just tell you. I have a client issue, right? Where I won't go into crazy detail. They have an e-commerce type site, and they've had us clone it multiple times for different areas. Like they go and they pitch it to like a town, and the town gets on board, and then it's like a co-relationship with the town where they go and do this thing. I should just fucking say what it is, but anyway, and each time they come to us, like, oh, we got a new town to do it, and we just kind of clone everything. And we just did another one, and as usual, I go to them and said, hey, just test everything, make sure the payments are going through, because I don't have access in this particular case to the payment side. Most clients give me full access so I could check everything. They did not. They just gave me what I needed, not access. And they're like, yeah, it looks like the last one we put up, I haven't seen any payments for it. And I was like, okay, let me check it out. And I go and look, and yeah, I don't see the transactions in there like I'm supposed to. And I looked into it a little bit, and I'm not 100% certain, but I think maybe my developer fucked something up when he was working on it. I could be wrong. It could be something else. But like, I see what I see, and I always go and check before I ask because I like to know.
Yeah, because you want to make sure that you're coming with the right information.
Yeah, I like to kind of have an idea before they go and look at it. And I said, like, hey, what's going on here? Go look at this. And he sends back an email to me that's essentially, yeah, well, you guys sent me changes for it, and you never said to enable the payments. Mm-hmm. And so the payments were enabled, so I didn't do it. And I was like, I can't stand. No, I was like, we've done this before. Like, we clone it. Obviously, the payment part needs to be active, right? Mm-hmm. That's the whole point.
One would think that.
Right. And it doesn't matter if we looked at it and didn't notice that portion. The point is you didn't fucking do it. So essentially he was like, yeah, I mean, long, not to summarize what he was basically saying to me in, way more bullshitty words was, yeah, I didn't do it. But you guys didn't notice, and you didn't tell me to do it after that. And I just
obviously we did notice because I'm here talking to you right now.
Right. But that's the big thing for me is, and I've talked to everybody I've ever worked with. I've had, this has been my thing. I don't care if you fuck up. Everybody fucks up. We all fuck up. Just fucking be honest about it. Just admit when you fucked something up so we could go, okay, here's the problem. Let's figure out how to move forward. And like I've had this conversation multiple times with the same person. Just fucking tell me, hey, I fucked something up. Here's what I fucked up.
That's a lack of personal accountability.
Right. Ideally come to me with
just making a mistake.
Yes. Ideally come to me with a plan. Like my mantra has always been, if I fuck up, I figure out what I did wrong, and I figure out how to solve it. And then I go and say, here's what happened. Here's how I think I could fix it. That's how I've always worked. But I don't, like I said, I don't have a problem. I mean, unless you've done it multiple times, like this has actually happened. But I don't have a problem with somebody fucking up and making a mistake, because everybody fucking makes mistakes. I have a problem with lack of accountability and not just admitting to your mistake and saying, here's what happened, here's where we go from here, or so that we can figure out where to go from here. It drives me fucking crazy. And
Well, it almost seems like he didn't even bother to like try to fix the problem. He just looked at it, messed it up, went, "Oh well," and just let it become everyone else's problem.
maybe could be. I mean,
Maybe not even on purpose.
this is a situation
Just
I mean, I've already gone, okay, here's where I think things could have gone wrong. Here's how I think I'm going to fix it. And I've already talked to sent an email back to clients saying like, hey, I'm not 100% sure. Here's what might have happened. But here's a couple questions to figure out where we go from here. Because I've been doing this a long time. I've had many things come up like that, but that's just the way it goes. I mean, you can't. And that's why part of the reason I always kind of check into things myself first, because I always worry that whoever I'm dealing with is going to try to bullshit me. And I've had it happen many times where I go and I check something out, I figure out what the problem was, and then they come back and they come up with some bullshit. I'm like, no, that's not what happened. Here's what happened. You fucking liar. Whether it's somebody I'm working with or for, or a client, whatever. But it just drives me crazy. I can't stand when people can't just say, hey, yeah, I fucked up. Here's what went wrong. What do we do now? How can I help make this better? It's so fucking irritating. And I actually had a similar problem recently with another client, with another e-commerce thing. It was a case where the person I had working on it left test information on an active site for an e-commerce store. So when you do e-commerce, you have a sandbox to test. What that means. Well, you have a live payment gateway to actually process transactions, and you have a sandbox so you can test. So it looks like you're processing a transaction, but it's just going to a test account.
I know that there's people that are listening to this podcast that go, yeah, I get it. For me, I understood the words that came out of your mouth, but I did not understand the order in which the pattern, like the way you put that together.
Sorry.
Like you said sandbox, I thought of like literally a box of sand.
With cat poop in.
And then
yeah, no. It was
kid poop, dog poop, all that.
Yeah, I should have just kept it, again, more succinct than our episode title was going to be. I should have just said, yeah, it was basically sending payments to a test gateway and processing them, not actually processing them. And there was like a bunch of orders that got fake processed where the client wasn't charged. Thankfully, the orders hadn't gone out yet, but it took me a long time to fix it. I had to go back and email each client individually and say, hey, I apologize. Your payment didn't process properly. Here's a link to go and correctly process. It was a pain in the butt. It's just, but like I have two things that bother me. It's a lack of attention to detail on things like that, or just common fucking sense. And again, just like not acknowledging I fucked something up. I fucked this up.
There's it feels very different when you're disappointed in an adult.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, it's just something really odd and like upsetting for everyone involved.
Well, it's kind of what it feels like. It feels like you're dealing with a child. It's like, not me. I didn't do it. No, it was.
Why didn't you do this? I don't know.
Like when you find your kid with like chocolate smeared all over on their face, and like, did you steal some cookies from the fridge? And they're like, no. Chocolate all over their face. It's the same.
I don't know. Who put the chocolate on your face? I don't know.
It's the same fucking situation. It really is. It's the same thing, just a grown up doing it. Anyway, that's enough about that. It just drives me crazy. I can't stand. I mean, I could do a whole episode about people who aren't accountable for their actions, but whatever. I've had it happen many times to me. I have fucked up over my career. I've certainly fucked up things, ranging from not so bad to bad. But like I said, I go, okay, problem has been reported to me. I go and look, okay, what happened? Here's what happened. How do we fix it? Here's how we fix it. I don't think when something like that happens, I don't think anybody should come back to you without a solution. They should come back to you and say, here's what happened, but here's how we fix it. In a
business, you absolutely need to think like that.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. Maybe
Especially if
that's
you want
just
to
something.
continue getting paid. If you don't want to get paid and you just want to volunteer, then fuck, I guess.
Well, yeah, that's
Don't
true. You could
fix
just
anything.
you just not get paid.
Like,
But like, don't lie. That's the worst thing. Oh boy. Anyway, I sent you I sent you that link to the athletics announcer, right? Did you watch that video?
oh, I did.
Oh boy.
And I'm still pondering what. Oh, I think I even messaged you back going,
You did. That's right.
what I did he say what he was thinking? Or
Yeah.
was he trying to say another word? But I
Yeah.
can't think of what other word would fit in there.
There isn't one. So for anybody who hasn't already seen this, and I don't know his fucking name because who cares what his fucking name is? The Oakland Athletics broadcast announcer was on a broadcast recently, and I'm assuming he visited the African American Baseball Hall of Fame, the Negro League Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
whatever it's called. And he got on the broadcast, was talking about his day and his great trip, and he just called it the N-word league straight out. He's just like, we
What's
went to
really
the
funny about
N-word league.
I really hope in like if we have show notes or anything at any point that the link goes in there, at least in the description.
Oh, that's true. I should.
Because it's not the fact that he said it. He's an old white guy in a in a polo shirt. You expect he's going to say that.
Yeah. Oh,
What
yeah.
See, what got me was he said it so innocently and nonchalantly
Right?
that's why I was like I was taken aback going, wait, did he mean something else? Because there's no way
Yeah,
he said it
he
the
was
way
so
he said it.
casual.
So smooth.
So smooth. And you've seen, I mean, that's happened many times on in television history. You can go Google or YouTube
Yeah.
clips, and people usually, not even just the N-word, just like, they'll be like, oh, blah, blah, fuck you. Oh, like you see
Yeah,
their
stop
face.
themselves. Booker
Shit,
T.
I was just
T,
going to say
who is
Booker
a black
T.
guy.
I was just going to say that.
He was screaming at Hulk Hogan.
I love that promo.
Called him the N-word, and even he backed up like, oh.
His face after he's
the
like,
woman
blah,
behind
blah,
him,
blah, 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 and what? Oh, and you just see his face go, like, I don't know how, not white because he's black, but you know, like,
No.
you can see the color. You can see the
like
color
you saw
drain.
the blood drain from his face,
and he just
like,
looks away and he's covering his face.
Booker T looked like a 5-year-old child with muscles.
Yes,
like
yes.
he was just like, oh.
That's one of my favorite wrestling clips. I mean, that
it's a classic.
The Shockmaster. You familiar with Shockmaster?
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, dude, Shockmaster's one of the best. I'll send that to you later. That Shockmaster, those are probably my top 2 favorite wrestling clips of all time because the Booker T one is so funny.
There's a second part to the Booker T thing. He did an interview.
Oh, did he?
People asked him about it, and he was like, "Well, it's really funny because Hulk met up with me behind stage. Was like, don't worry, buddy. I know I'm one of the good ones." I'm like, look, no matter what, I know people canceled Hulk Hogan for saying the N-word out of like some passionate anger or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That moment right there was just like, no, they fucked around and said that shit normally, like backstage. Like, literally, like when you know, like those groups of friends that have like that one white friend that is just allowed to do it, but only like not in public, but like in their little friend group.
Sure.
That's what I think happened. Hulk just got too comfortable. Because I don't believe he's racist. I think he's an old white guy who got the N-word pass a few too many times.
You might be right. Yeah, but the athletics announcer was so just
he was super casual.
Well, like I told you, that motherfucker went there earlier with his buddies, and they were in the car just throwing that phrase around like, we're going to the N-word museum. We're going to the N-word museum.
We went to the N-word museum. Negro, Negrant.
yeah, that motherfucker did not slip. He did not mean to say another word.
No.
Which
he kept talking. The other announcer, he had a micro expression. I watched him a few times. It was really. It was. Well,
just he rubbed his beard, right? He kind of rubbed his beard a little bit.
He like his eyes widened for like a short period, like really quick, and he just started touching his face.
Yeah, the beard rub did it for me.
He slightly turned his body away.
Yeah, there was a little bit there.
A body language analyst.
I need to distance myself from this guy. Well, there was
because. Oh man, that announcer! It was just so good. It was like they were at the country club, not being
yes,
recorded.
Like, they didn't know. Well,
so good.
So that was clean cut. I mean, there was an announcer, I believe the Cardinals announcer, or it was during a Cardinals game a few years ago, where the guy used the F word for homosexuals,
Yeah.
and immediately got canned. This guy got suspended too, but that wasn't. I mean, the video was like, oh my god, you dumb fuck. But I was
Mhm.
more irritated. What was driving me fucking crazy were all the articles I saw about it, where every single fucking one of the articles had this headline that said something along the lines of, athletics announcer unintentionally, accidentally, and
Okay.
every one of those headlines, I'm like, oh, thanks for that valuable insight, website. You think he didn't
I'm
fucking
sure he
mean?
didn't want to do that on purpose.
Yeah, you guys are so good and so insightful. You mean it was an accident? He didn't intentionally say a racist word on the air and destroy his career and reputation? Oh my god, I never would have
Wh-
known that was the case. You fucking
And my thing
idiots.
is, I still don't feel like he should lose his whole career for it. I feel like he should be ostracized and made fun of for it. I feel like if
Yeah,
I feel in context, the fact that he was talking about the Negro League, which part of his job is to recognize those portions of that,
sure.
that would probably should affect his business. So maybe in retrospect, he should lose his job for that. But then again, I don't. I'm so torn about it because it's all about context. Because again, I don't feel like Hulk
It
Hogan
is. Yeah.
should have like been taken off the Hall of Fame or whatever that he was on, and
Well,
treated like he didn't exist.
let's admit it. Just in
When
today's
the other
culture,
guy was like
you're done.
talking about black people, like he was talking about a black thing. Like Hulk
Yes,
Hogan
yes.
just said the word.
Right. It's different when you're just saying the word
Like,
one off, when you're using it in context to describe a group of
yeah,
people. You're
Mel
not saying
Gibson.
it in casual slang. You're saying it to
Yeah,
describe the group. You fucking
Mel
dumb fuck.
Gibson was like super racist when he said it.
Yes. Yep.
Because he said you'll get raped by a gang of N-words. He knew what
Right.
he was saying.
Oh, of course. And
In
again,
reference to.
I mean,
He didn't
we've
say it
talked
because it
about
was a nasty word. He said it because he was thinking of the nasty word applying to the people.
right. I've talked about this before. I think context is super important. Like, even in this podcast here, I don't. I maybe I'm totally fucking up. As like, if I'm just describing and trying to tell people what he said, I feel like if I said the word, and he called it if it actually said it, the
Mm-hmm.
context is I'm telling you what he said. I'm not using it to be
I'm
hateful,
not using
but
it.
it's culturally, things are so much different. Context is so important.
Actually, we're at
But
a weird impasse. People keep using that excuse, saying like the culture is different now, and the like everybody's a little too sensitive, and or all these things. But ultimately, we're not even we're like a teenager that doesn't know what we want.
this is
Like
true.
as a society, we don't know what the rule is. We just know that some people won't like it and some people will, and some people feel justified in doing something that other people don't like, and other people feel the opposite
Oh,
so
agreed.
strongly that
Well,
you never know what's going to be the consequence of a single action.
Well, that's the problem. Your individual rules and thoughts don't apply. It's whatever the loudest majority, and not just the majority, the loudest majority. Their rules are what are going to effectively apply. I mean, on this podcast, if I just said it in context, no one probably fucking cared. Nobody would care. But if I'm,
Yeah.
if I'm announcing a baseball game, and I say it just totally in the context of describing the museum I went to, yeah, people are gonna
Mhm.
care. But like, again, the reactions joke. Like, there's so many people that are like, oh, he's a good guy. It was a slip of the tongue. He didn't mean to say it. It's like, do you ever say that word by accident? Do you
Mr. and
often?
Mrs. Journalist.
Well, like, I'm just like, I don't know about well, I'm asking you, this is the wrong person to say it to.
Oh, me.
I don't know about
Oh.
you. No, I'm just gonna say I don't know about
Oh.
you, but this is the wrong context. I don't know about you guys listening, but I don't ever accidentally say that, it doesn't just you don't accidentally say it unless you use it as part of your regular vernacular. It just doesn't work that way.
There's only two reasons why you would ever accidentally say it. Only two.
Okay,
and
what are
I
the
don't
two?
think he hangs out with black people.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. He's an old
I'm
white
just
guy.
saying, there's only two reasons.
He said it because he was probably in the same mindset he was 10 hours earlier when he was just saying it nonstop because he thought it was funny with his buddies.
Yeah. I wonder how many times Eminem has said it accidentally.
That, well, again, different
He's
contexts.
been televised a lot. Has he? He doesn't seem like a guy that has really great self-control.
No, not at all. But it's different context. You're talking about a guy who's
saying.
in that. He's in the rap and hip hop culture. It's different. It's just,
he's been given the pass, and he said he would never say it.
But it's just
now, unless you're stalking him, I don't think you're ever going to hear him say it.
No, probably not. That's true. You make up a good point. This motherfucker said it, and Eminem hasn't fucking said it.
Like, I'm just saying.
It just cracks me up. The people that are like the hot takes, like, oh, it was he inadvertently said. It's like, yeah, but you realize that's not the point, right?
The fact that he was so nonchalant.
I know. It's just
it's not like he said it and didn't hear himself say it.
I'll have to post a link so people can understand the context of how.
I want to see more of that clip. I want to see a longer piece.
Well, he also apologized after, and people were complaining about that because they're saying,
of course he did.
Well, people were complaining about that, saying, well, why did he apologize? Apologizing is admitting error. I was like,
you're an idiot if you think that.
Yeah. Okay. We're dealing with the Twitterverse and other news sites and shit. There are a lot of really popular news, quote unquote, sites that are really just 2 or 3 person run blogs and
Twitter
not
is so
full
bad.
news sites.
People are not realizing that Twitter is a goddamn drug. It is literally a drug because are they noticing that they're paying their drug dealer Elon Musk for a blue check mark? Like, that was supposed to be an indicator of like the fact that you're reputable, you are who you are, and all this stuff. Now you could just I don't know the ins and outs of that thing except the fact that you have to pay for it and the absurdity of doing so. Yeah. Now some people are like, well, I could just pay for it. It's not a big deal. It's just a subscription to what? To have people listen to you more? No, you are addicted to it. You cannot stop using this thing. You're willing to pay for it because you feel like this would make more people listen to you, and you're just going to keep doing it. I want that website to crash. I really do.
I do too.
I want it to crash for like a week.
I don't understand.
Just a week. I want to see what happens to these people.
I just can't understand the whole point of the blue check mark. And I don't even like calling it a blue check mark. It's just verification, right? I mean, that's what every other site uses.
It's verified. It's in the name.
Like, it's a verification mark to indicate that the person you're reading tweets from is the person they say they are. And he decided to take that and he goes, yeah, we're leveling the playing field. Everybody can be verified. No, but you're not it's not a verification anymore. It's literally just a little badge that says I pay $8 a month. It doesn't mean anything now.
Again, it's literally you're buying validity. You're buying validation. But it's a validation button.
You think you're buying validation, but you're actually not. You're just paying $8. It means nothing. It means nothing.
The only validation you're getting is validation from other Twitter brainlets. That's it.
I guess. I don't know. But it's
because those people love following each other, even if they hate each other.
That's true.
That's how reply guys become a thing.
That's true.
And we knew Twitter was going downhill when the president for 4 years was the king of Twitter.
Yes, he was.
That's ridiculous.
The whole thing makes no sense anyway, because then there's still accounts that have verification that's like a different color, like organizations, because they're organizations. And then there are people that were like, I think Stephen King, maybe a couple other people, LeBron James, maybe, that were like, I got the check mark, but I'm not fucking paying for it. And then Elon Musk was like, I'm paying for it. You fucking idiot. You said you were leveling the playing field, but then you are not leveling the playing field. You're just charging $8 for a fucking
Elon Musk contradicts himself constantly.
He does.
Constantly.
And I know he's a super smart dude, but I don't think he's as smart as people give him credit for.
I don't think he is. I think he's like a comic book geek. So he knows a lot of pseudoscience.
Maybe.
And he knows what his staff tells him.
He has to have a certain level of intelligence to have gotten where he is. But again, I think we've talked about it before.
He bought most of his businesses.
Well, I was just going to say, I think we've talked about
money
this.
Off of blood diamonds.
No, I was
This
gonna say, I
man,
think we've talked about the fact that he
yep,
didn't make
he's as
Tesla, he
self-made as
bought it. He
Kylie
didn't
Jenner.
make SpaceX.
Like
Yeah,
he's
that's
not.
true.
He's not a self-made man. He's really good at Twitter and being funny and being autistic enough to come off as funny on Twitter.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't, it's just irritating. Oh, people are up his ass now. It's funny too. It's people. I feel like the people that are so far up his ass that they can't see their anything but brown around them
Ugh. I
are
was
the
done.
same. Well, I think they're the same
Oh, sorry, go on.
people that would call out somebody for hero worshiping Kim Kardashian or Taylor Swift
Absolutely.
or somebody
But that's what
else.
I'm saying. Like my thing is like with Elon Musk,
Uh-oh.
I was done with him. And this was years ago when people first started calling him the real life Iron Man or Tony Stark.
Oh, did he say that?
But no, he didn't say that. People were saying that about him. This was like early in the beginning
Okay.
of like people liking him and making articles about him. And it was like, no, he isn't. And mind you, I'm not saying I knew much about him at the time because I actually spent years like I just didn't like the name, so I just didn't pay attention.
Are we waiting for him?
And
Are we waiting for him
but
to
I was
just
like,
crash like Elizabeth
he-
Holmes with Theranos and SBF with whatever the fuck his app was called? Like
oh,
all these
God.
people that were glorified on magazine covers and now
He's-
they're just fucking disgraced idiots. Is Elon gonna get there?
Yeah, because they are. They're just rich. They're just rich idiots with connections.
Yeah,
That's
I
all
suppose
they
you're
are.
right.
And all you have to do is be manipulative enough and pretty much disillusioned enough with how the world works. Hell, Jaden Smith calls himself a philosopher, but nothing he said made
Yeah.
any
Well,
goddamn
anybody
sense.
can call themselves a philosopher if they just say bullshit. It doesn't make sense. And then say, well, you have to interpret
exactly.
it.
He speaks eloquently, but when he's older, they're just going to say, he's a fashion designer. He's been making his own clothes for years, and he's done these projects and that. It's like,
Yeah, of
off
course.
of mommy and daddy's money. But people are going to forget in the next 30, 40 years,
Well,
and it's just going to be that. He's a legacy.
Well, it's just like
he's a
you were saying
legacy
before.
Celebrity.
Whichever
he's
one of the
self-made.
Jenners, Chris or whichever one was the Kylie.
I think it's Kylie.
The
that
first
put that shit in the article.
The first
I
self-made
screamed
billionaire
at
or
the fucking
whatever
article.
under that youngest ever.
The youngest in
What?
I was like, she has Jenner in her last name.
What
Get
are you
the
talking
fuck
about?
out of here with that bullshit.
I would be so insulted if I was a legitimate like worked from the bottom up, self-made anything, millionaire, billionaire. I fucking hate people.
Yeah. I had an argument with an acquaintance of mine because they were like, I love Jeffree Star because he's self-made. And are you fucking kidding me? That literal snake man. Like, if anybody was to convince me of lizard people, all they have to do is bring up a picture of Jeffree Star.
No,
Jeffree Star exists. I know.
People that have had
him and is it Mark Zuckerberg? Both they're both fucking lizard people. Well, Zuckerberg might be
a literal robot.
I'm not.
He's an actual AI robot from the future to make
He's
Facebook.
Come back from the future. He was what I think is Mark Zuckerberg was a dysfunctional robot that escaped being like recycled, and he went to the past. And he was like, well, if I can't succeed in this future, I'm going to succeed in the past, like Buzz from Back to the Future.
Yeah,
was it Bud?
What was his
and
Biff.
And
there you go.
Biff, because it's
Whatever.
Buzz, Biff, Bud, all those names are those bully characters. And I'm gonna go back to the past, and I'm gonna buy I'm gonna buy Facebook from this
and then
guy.
I'm gonna make it this amazing thing. And then
and then I'll make it because I know what the future
robot
has.
in the world.
But he's malfunctioned, so he keeps investing in stupid shit.
Well, he doesn't know how to fix
And
himself because the technology doesn't exist yet.
Exactly. He doesn't have the shit to fix himself. And he can't get back to the future because the time machine only works one way.
Stuck here. That poor motherfucker is stuck here. Stuck in our city world. Okay, here's a question I have for you because I got into a Facebook debate, not argument, just debate about this. ROMs and emulators, stealing or not stealing? I love them too. Not see.
No, no. I feel like there's an expiration date on a game. You could buy the greatest hits version if you want, but the gaming industry has been fucking us as the people long enough. They increase prices on games, even though making them doesn't cost more. They work their workers more to bring out half made
Yeah.
fucking games, green lighting undone bullshit constantly. Triple A undone bullshit. Um, while still increasing the prices on top of that. DLC being garbage and bullshit, and then not releasing games that are people are obviously asking for re-releases on, and then not fixing them. Like
Okay.
games that were good but probably need
All
a
right, but
tweak or
all I'm
two, and
hearing
not
is an
fixing it.
ethics argument. I'm
So
hearing an
no, I did
ethics
not think it's
argument
stealing.
of I think it's okay. No, I'm
I thought it was
asking,
an
is
ethical
it
question.
is it by definition, are you not stealing something when you're using ROMs?
I mean, unless companies are saying they're being stolen
So
from,
no, you don't think it's stealing.
unless they said that
I,
that was stolen from them, no. And I know what you're saying, but I don't treat
I'm
corporations
again,
like
again,
people.
but that's
They are not people.
yes, it
No,
is.
no,
Yes, it
it's not an
is.
ethics
Yes, it
thing.
is.
It's not an ethics thing.
You're
No, it
you're
isn't.
arguing
No, it
some.
isn't. No, it isn't. Because you can't steal. No, you can't steal from something that
Yes,
isn't
you.
alive. I cannot steal from. I cannot steal
But
sand
the
from a rock.
corporation is.
I can't.
But the
And a rock
corporation is
can be
still
productive.
representative of
A
a group
corporation
of
is
people that own it.
a group of people that own it. I'm sorry. So the person that designed a character and worked their blood, sweat, and tears
So
into it own
no,
that game, or
some
do they just have their name on it
somebody. Okay,
and they
let's
can't
talk.
do
Let's
shit with it?
talk old Nintendo games, right? You're doing ROMs to old Nintendo games. Nintendo
Yeah.
owns the rights to those games. And regardless of whether or not they haven't re-released them, they haven't
Yes.
made them available in any other format. There's no way to play it otherwise. They still own the game, and that means whoever
Okay.
owns Nintendo owns those games. So you're still stealing it.
So I'll say it like this. By technicality,
Thank
it
you.
is stealing.
That's what I'm
By
trying to say.
technicality, it is stealing. Now, hold on. There's a game, okay, for instance, there's a game called Abadox
Yeah,
made by Nintendo.
I don't ever heard of it.
Great shmup.
Would you say great
Most people
shmup?
haven't, but it's a really good game. It's one of the first
Oh, shoot 'em up.
shoot 'em up.
I thought you said. Did you actually say shmup as short?
I did.
I've never heard that before.
I did say shmup.
Shmup.
Yes, because
I haven't heard it. That's a good one. I like it.
And it's usually for
Right,
like
makes
bullet
sense.
hell games and stuff like that. But anyway, so this game, I loved it. It was one of the first games that had like body horror and outer
Yeah.
space. It was really good, and it's not been released for years. I think the game came out in like
Okay.
1989, so it's very old. Now I feel like games should be treated like was it Winnie the Pooh, where it has that license that
Sure, public
after a certain
domain.
amount of years it goes up
Right.
and it's in the public domain. I feel like games should not be pigeonholed by companies
I agree.
like that, because they let good games die, which is like saying letting a good book die. There are books that we'll never have read because
I mean, there's
somebody held
a
on to it for that-
whole name for that,
on that- onto that
abandonware,
property.
which is literally just
So
games that are abandoned completely.
which
Right.
applies to a lot
they're
of
just
games.
completely abandoned.
So with that being the case, I feel like because it's a law question,
Right. That's
by
my
law, it
only
is
point
stealing.
I was trying to make.
but the law is not right all the time. So are you arguing the fact that does
Yes.
the law exist or not? Because I feel like the whole thing is ethical.
No,
It has
my
nothing
my
to do with
argument
the
was
law
purely
itself.
okay. I related it back to Bill Burr's abortion joke, which is one of his greatest. Have you ever heard his bit on abortion? All right. He's got a whole
I
bit on abortion
don't-
where
I
he
can't recall
basically goes, "Yeah, I think you should be able to do whatever the fuck you want with your body. Women should be able to have abortions, but you're still killing a baby. Like, but admit it, you're killing a baby." And he goes on, he compares it. He's like, "If I'm baking a cake in the oven and you take that shit out and you throw it on the floor, I'm gonna go, the fuck, you messed up my cake." And you're not gonna go, "It wasn't a cake yet." So I'm just relating it back.
I mean, that's a really good argument.
It's a
That is a really
joke.
good argument. I
it's a
mean,
joke,
Always
right?
Sunny kind of made a joke, said you have to eat a cake and then you had to eat the ingredients of a cake instead of eating the cake.
Oh, what was that from?
Because I could put all the ingredients of a cake together and throw it in a bowl. Isn't that the start
Right,
of the
yeah.
process of baking the cake? Because technically, if that's starting the process, that could be the window in which
Oh,
the baby is just
I don't want to get
genetic
into this whole.
material slapped together. No,
I
no,
don't
no.
want to
I
get
know
into
we're
that whole
arguing on
argument.
that.
I'm
No,
just
I'm just
saying
saying that no. My whole point was the fact that I brought that up is that you could always
True.
argue backwards.
Well, in your
You
case,
could
I
keep
just say, yeah, you
arguing
put everything
backwards
in the
points
bowl.
like
If
that.
somebody took it through the floor, I'd still say you fucked up my cake. I was in the middle of making it. But anyway, but
I
my
wouldn't have said that.
I was just trying to compare and say, like, hey, I love ROMs. I love emulators. I've got like
Yeah.
13,000 ROMs on my fucking Steam
Yeah.
Deck. I love them. But technically, I am stealing them. You know, I'm just saying, all I was saying was, don't act like you're not technically stealing something. You are. We're all okay with it.
Yeah, but people do that with music all the time, so that's why they
I
came out
guess
with streaming.
I'm just saying, like, sure, there are all kinds of
People were doing that with
technical
music.
ethical arguments about it. Yes, the law should put things into
Yeah.
public domain after so long. Yes, if things are abandoned, there's no other way to play it. You should have access
You're
to it
right.
and be able to play it. Yes, if you're not hurting anybody, if no one's losing money, if because it's just there's no other way and it's never going to be available in any other way. Sure, but technically you are stealing it. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay, but all right. Now my question is, why?
Because
are you
I'm an
bringing it
asshole
up
and I
like
like
that?
to be
Simply
argumentative.
because one, people are only going to bring it up as an ethical argument. Nobody's going to bring it up as a
That's what I did because I'm a dick.
bro. Because I know you did because you're a dick. But the main reason that nobody's ever going to think like that because the law is never going to find it important enough to try to amend something like that.
No.
And companies are too greedy to.
No, you're right. And again, I'm
a
100% behind ROMs. I think they're great. I think they are. They should be legitimate. I'm even okay, like you said, with the way they fuck us with games these days. I don't care if you're emulating games that came out 5 years ago. I don't give a fuck. Whatever. I don't care. I'm just saying, technically, you're still stealing something because I'm an asshole and I like to make my point.
See, stealing. Weird thing with stealing is. Like, I feel like levels of stealing. Like, are you stealing for if you're stealing for fulfillment or you're stealing
absolutely.
for survival?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like stealing for fulfillment is applied to law when stealing for survival is applied to ethics. And I feel like every law has to be based on ethics. So I don't see a separation.
No, I think you're right. I think that makes sense. And I also people always argue over, stealing, whether or not you're hurting somebody by stealing. Like somebody said, like, it's not like you're going and robbing somebody, at gunpoint. I'm like, what? That's not even remotely relatable to what we're talking about. Yeah. And somebody said, I read an interview with with an old abandonware developer. And they said, I don't care if someone wants to steal my game. That's fine. And I said, yeah, but notice you still use the word steal. I'm not arguing the ethics of it.
You're just nitpicking the word just to irk people because you're making them feel bad by saying steal.
I don't know. Could be. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Do you want to talk about the Little Mermaid? Or you want to? We got other stuff to talk about.
No, I want to know because you made me wonder what you were gonna bitch about because I have
no interest in seeing it. I mean, I'll end up seeing it because I have a wife that's obsessed with Disney shit, and I end up seeing all the Disney property releases.
I'll be honest. Your wife is great. I have fun talking to her. I legitimately feel like we are friends. But God, I know she would be annoying as shit when dealing with Disney stuff.
She's obsessed.
And I know she's going to hear this and she's going to give me that look, but I know.
She is obsessed.
I just know that she's going to be annoying with Disney shit.
I guess her Disney obsessions are no different than like me with video gaming or, she just loved it when she was a kid. She was into it.
No, I know. I know I could be annoying with video game stuff. I talk about video game stuff to my wife.
Yeah, me too.
When she's not paying attention.
Or hockey.
And she'll be like mildly interested, which she is interested in games. Don't get me wrong. She loves games. But if it's a game she's not interested in, she'll just look like, yeah, that's cool. And like kind of verbally pat me on the head, which makes me feel better. Because she's listening.
Last night they had the NHL draft order, which basically, they determine who picks first in the draft. And there's this superstar player that's going to go in the draft, this next draft, that everybody's saying is a generational talent. He's going to be one of the best players in the world. So it was a big deal who was going to get the first pick because they're going to almost definitely get this player. And here I am talking about it on the podcast when my whole point was I was trying to explain it to my wife. She's just looking at me like, fucking shut up. I don't care.
I don't see
she listens when I talk about hockey because she knows it interests me, and like she actually likes when I explain hockey stuff to her because it makes it easier for her to enjoy watching it. But yeah, I mean, I'm just talking about the draft. She doesn't give two fucks. But I often will be telling her about something, and I just see her face glaze over, and I go, "You don't give a fuck about this. Why am I telling you?" And she doesn't correct me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Okay. Anyway. The Little Mermaid. So she told me about this. She told me about this a few days back. The Little Mermaid have announced that they're updating some of the lyrics to some of the songs to be more culturally appropriate, I guess, right? So well here we go. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to get very angry about these things. I am totally okay and all for changing things when they are blatantly inappropriate. Like if we remade Song of the South today, yeah, there's a lot of shit that they would have to change, right? A lot of shit would have to change. We're talking about.
Sorry, I'm thinking.
And basically by a lot of shit we'd have to change. Well, what I mean is essentially it just had to be a different movie.
Get ChatGPT to write it.
Hey,
get ChatGPT
write
to
an
write
updated Song of the South.
to write a racially sensitive version.
You know I'm going to do that later. I'm totally going to go do that later. Anyway, they announced. So here's what they decided to do. I've got the article up in front of me, so I want to make sure I got this exactly right. First off, they're changing some of the lyrics in the song "Kiss the Girl." You familiar with "Kiss the Girl"? It takes place on the boat.
Are they
making it more about consent because they don't want to worry about people being very sensitive that Prince Eric would be in any way forcing himself on Ariel.
Okay. First of all,
this is just the first of
two. Was just the animals making noises. Okay, those was literally the animals making noises.
Yes.
Let's just be real there, because when Ariel was human, she didn't understand.
Right. Oh yeah, right.
So two, the song was literally about, dude, stop being a pussy.
Yes, this song was
what it was. And I know, that's not sensitive, but
fuck
I'm
that
saying
shit.
Literally,
the song was not about
like he literally was just hesitating. They're saying stop hesitating. You like each other.
Look,
fucking kiss.
The
she
song
wants
is,
to kiss
dude,
you,
look
bro.
at her. Look the way she's looking at you. She wants to kiss you so bad. Fucking do it, man.
She wants to kiss you. She can't tell you with her mouth hole because it doesn't work. Just fucking kiss her. That's what they're saying in the song. Whoever's doing that missed the fucking lyrics and only listened to the title.
Here's an excerpt from the original lyrics. So Sebastian sings, "Yes, you want her. Look at her. You know you do. Possible she wants you too. There is one way to ask her. Don't take a word. Not a single word. Go on and kiss the girl." So they don't want people to interpret that as him forcing himself on her. Fuck you! You're missing the context. You're missing the context of the movie, you fucking idiot.
And mind you, a Jamaican man is singing it. There are words that are not going to fit the same way. Which that's the reason why I won't the literal reason I cannot watch The Little Mermaid.
The
and
Jamaican
it has nothing
accent?
to do with it has a lot to do with Melissa McCarthy. But Sebastian, who is my favorite character, looks like a real crab, and I can't handle that. My childhood brain cannot handle the way he looks.
Well,
let alone the voice that comes out.
Crabs are weird
of it.
looking, dude.
In fact, not to even mention the Aquafina.
Wait, is he a crab or a lobster? What is he?
I just
is he a crab? Yeah, it's crab. Crabs are fucking creepy looking. Anything that comes out of the ocean is creepy looking.
And mind you, he's not even a normal crab. Yeah. He's a tiny crab. Crustacean. He looks like a shrimp with a shell. But he's a tiny crab. And he doesn't look like a.
I was so fucking mad when I heard this because I said, again, listen to the fucking context. Look at the context of the movie. Like you said, they're in a boat. She wants him to kiss her so bad, and he's just pussing out, not doing it. And they're just saying, "Come on, man! Look, she wants to kiss you. Fucking kiss her. What are you waiting for?" They're not going, "Yo, bro." They're not
That's
going,
literally
yo, bro.
what the lyrics are saying.
Bitch,
Little Mermaid,
ass,
Little
you
Mermaid's
know?
old lyrics when I was a kid never made me
No,
think that
it's
every
so
girl wants to
fucking
kiss me.
stupid. What are they gonna change it to? They're gonna be like, boy,
Like,
ask for her consent, and then if she says yes, you can kiss the girl.
that's
just
oh
one or
my
two.
god! Like you can have an argument. You can have an argument for the song "It's Cold Outside."
Sure,
There's an argument there.
There's
As stupid as it was, there is an argument there. There is no fucking argument for "Kiss the Girl."
So listen, that's
There's
just the first
literally
one, right?
No argument.
They are also changing the lyrics to "Poor Unfortunate Souls," which is the villain Ursula's, big number, the most important song for it.
I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. I know there's listeners and they want to hear you talk, so I'm gonna let them. But I just gonna be.
Joaquin has gotten up and walked away, taking his headphones off. He had to go walk away and scream about this. So, you have any idea why they may be changing "Poor Unfortunate Souls"? Any thoughts on that? No. Oh, that would have been one thing.
I don't know. I'm gonna guess. I'm guessing it's the body language
not at all.
part.
They decided they need to change the lyrics because the original contains, quote, lines that might make young girls somehow feel that they shouldn't speak out of turn. And they actually say in the quote, even though Ursula is clearly manipulating Ariel to give up her voice, because she says, the men up there don't like a lot of blabber. They think a girl who gossips is a bore. It's the one who holds her tongue to get her man.
Yes. Because she's a villain.
She's a bad person. She's supposed to say bad things. Why?
The devil is doing the devil
it's a fucking sales pitch. She's trying to steal her fucking voice. She's saying, hey, boy, you don't got to talk up there. Give me your fucking voice. It's a sales pitch. She's a bad person. Sales pitch.
You know what?
Fuck!
All these stupid racists are finding the worst reasons to not like this movie. I hope that these articles are not real. I hope deep down there they're not. But you know what? The fact that they got rid of Scar's song in the jungle in the
did they?
The Lion King movie.
I didn't even know that.
Got rid of Scar's song. He doesn't have a song. They hit towards it a little bit.
Man, I listened to the soundtrack to that 35 times in the car. I'm surprised I didn't realize that. Be prepared.
In Jafar's song in Aladdin.
Oh yeah,
gone.
that was gone too.
Bye-bye, Prince Abu.
Right.
Gone. Mind you, their Jafar was garbage.
Jafar it wasn't great.
Absolute
it wasn't
garbage.
Great.
But and that's the movie I like the most out of the live action movies.
We don't want little girls to think that. Yes, okay, that was like a mindset in the 50s, right? Like, women aren't supposed to talk back. Go in the corner there, babe. Yeah, keep your mouth shut. Yeah, let the men's are talking.
We have enough stuff. We have enough stuff.
The whole fucking point of the song is she's an evil villain trying to fuck over this young girl, trying to trick her. She's saying whatever she can to trick her into doing what she wants. It's a fucking sales pitch. It's like me being a fucking pizza maker and going, you know what? This pizza, if you eat this pizza, it'll make you have big muscles. It's really healthy. Come and eat my fucking pizza. I'm lying out my fucking teeth to get you to do what I want.
You know what? They should have changed that whole shit. Let her keep Ariel's voice. Let Ariel keep her voice. Instead, have Ursula.
Yeah, I'm good. Sorry.
I'm sorry. You good? Have Ursula, and this will piss everybody off. Have Ursula steal the Little Mermaid's melanin. So when she's above land, they all think she's white.
Oh, that's great. No.
And then Melissa McCarthy comes up.
Reverse
as
it. Make
Queen
her white
Latifah.
in the ocean, and then she gives her melanin, and she's black when she gets on land.
No. Listen to me. Hear me out. The prince falls in love with this pretty redhead white girl, falls in love with her, and all of a sudden at the end she goes, I'm sorry, but in actuality,
yeah,
and he has to prove
genius.
That he loves
That's
her.
A genius move. What could be more woke? What could be more woke than that?
Race. That
I was gonna say,
since we want to go stupid with it,
Just have
Let's just
Ursula
go
turn her
that
into a
far.
human, but not give her a pussy.
Oh no!
She's like,
You have
you gotta
whatever a
go
fish
up there.
has.
You gotta go up there
Just
and get him
spitting
to
out
fall in love with
eggs.
you, despite the fact that you don't have a pussy.
One of the only good fucking
Dude.
Little Mermaid, not Little Mermaid, Family Guy jokes was what was it? Not Meg. Lois being saved
Oh
by the
yeah.
merman, and he's a fish up
Yes,
top,
yes.
but he's the only man part. It's like, how is this gonna work? What? How am I supposed to have sex with you? I need to have man parts.
Dude, your idea is fucking genius. That is you want to go woke? That's as woke
Like,
as you can go.
Since that's where we're going, and people are all focusing on the fact that she's played by a black actress,
dude, that's
we're all
so
just focusing
good.
on that, and
that's
then we want to
so
make
good.
it. Girls are not okay. I've not met many girls, and mind you, I'm speaking just for a guy, that are self-conscious because of stupid little innocuous things like that. They are self-conscious because of the environment we actively create, not in our only in our media, in our commercials, which are the things we see the most, and in the bad
Sure.
habits our parents have. We should
I've
not
got a
be
great example of that.
Through these fucking
I have a great example
memes.
of that. I was playing hockey online a couple nights ago, as I'm wont to do, and I was playing somebody, and there's so many trolls on this game, dude. It's I don't even know why I play it. There's so many trolls that use glitchy things. I quit and I don't play for a few weeks, and then I'll go play again because I just need the time off. There's so many trolls, and I was playing some against a versus game a couple nights ago, and I forget what the guy. I think he was ragging the puck, which is basically just holding the puck in your zone and then not skating it out, basically not playing, and then making me have to chase him around like an asshole. Yeah. And I said something like, yes, to irritate you enough. So I think I said, come on, man, stop playing like a little girl. And I realized my daughter was sitting there, and I actually stopped, and I went, I turned to her and I said, hey, I'm sorry I said that. I was like, that's really not an appropriate thing to say. As you know, when I was a little kid, that's the way what we would say to other boys, you know, like if we're playing baseball and they weren't throwing the ball well, we'd say, oh, you throw like a girl, you're playing like a girl. And I said, you know what, that's not really fair, because we know that women can be really, really successful in sports. There are some amazing women hockey players and basketball players and soccer players. And she was like, yeah, no, you're right. You know, women can be very successful at sports now. And I said, yeah, remember the other day we were watching the women's it was a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago. We were watching the women's finals, and I was talking about Hillary Knight and Sarah Nurse and all these great women players. And she was like, yeah. And I said, so I'm sorry I said that. I should say you're playing like a baby or something like that. And said, I really shouldn't say you're playing like a little girl, because little girls can play just as well as anybody else. And I stopped myself. I was like, that was a wrong thing to say, right?
Yep. And as you were telling that
I got my ass
story
kicked
to your daughter,
I kicked my ass. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. So, but I took the time and I was like, I need to address this. This was a stupid thing.
No, I understand.
No, it's a good punchline, because you're right.
Yeah,
but like, yeah, to your point.
But no, that's okay. And another thing that is undermined, and I feel like
that was it. I was just saying, to your point. Yeah, that's where those things come from, right? And I didn't want to propagate the idea. I wanted to make sure she understood that her daddy didn't think that little girls were inferior in any way when it comes to sports.
We're inferior. Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that interaction means way more than if in a fucking movie or a cartoon the bad guy says that, maybe you shouldn't talk too much when you're out.
My kids.
That's, and mind you, that undermines another point. Bad people will say whatever they can to trick you. Now you don't learn that if we're trying to teach lessons.
No, you don't learn that at all. My daughter.
So yeah, she did a bad
My daughter,
thing,
and I'm going to speak for your daughter too, are both smart enough to watch that movie and see what's happening and go, oh, that crazy fucking bitch octopus lady is trying to trick them, trick her into doing what she wants. They're not getting that micro tidbit and thinking that that's true. They're thinking it's bullshit put out by this fucking evil villain. Like, they're not stupid.
And mind you, people aren't mad that it changed, because you know what? If it was changed, it wouldn't have been that big a deal. But one, a lot of people who grew up with it are the ones who are upset with it. Because I can understand to a degree why some.
Yeah,
people
I
would be
mean, I've had
upset.
that with things where we've talked about it before, where they change things from our childhood. I
Yeah.
think just last episode, I think it might have been, or a couple, we were talking about the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie and how April's black, and how some people were pissed about that, and we were like, we don't fucking care, you know?
Yeah. Just like some people are going to be upset about it, and I get it. But one, you're not going to win that one. But two, like but a song, like first of all, music resonates with everybody. Like all the villain songs,
Yeah, there are a lot of good
I
ones.
loved all of them, despite Scar's like Nazi imagery, which was there
Nazi
on
imagery?
purpose because
I don't
he's the
remember in
bad guy. Yeah, there was in the cartoon.
the Be Prepared song.
The
Oh
the
yeah, you're right. You're right. I never really thought
the
about it, but yeah,
goose-stepping
you're right. You're
hyenas.
absolutely right.
Because if they do the Hunchback of Notre Dame, I bet you they're going to get rid of the best song in that movie, which was Hellfire. One, because it has the word hell in the name of it. But two, because it's about the fact that the I think it's Frollo, I think his name is, wanted to fuck Esmeralda. But yeah, Frodo. And
maybe it was Frollo.
Frodo? I thought it was Frollo.
No, Frodo's from Lord of the Rings. He's a hobbit.
It's from Lord of the Rings.
Frollo. I think it was Froyo.
Because he wanted to fuck Esmeralda, but he couldn't. Yeah, probably he's just
a large tasty
treat.
Refreshing.
Who again wanted to fuck this gypsy woman, but couldn't because of his insane.
Well, also she won't be able to be a gypsy woman anymore because gypsy is now you can't. She's gonna have to be something else, even though that was the culture in the movie. That was what they were. They were. I don't know.
Like it drives me. Yeah, you know what? I feel exactly. That's why I had to get up and scream because that. Like,
yeah, I don't
guess that's.
I don't care about them. Like, there's a difference too, right? The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles thing, right? There's a lineage of comic books and media, so like there's a big history. We're talking about a one-off movie being remade as another one-off movie. There's no long history of Ariel being white or anything like that for people to get mad about that. I couldn't care less.
I mean, there's no long history of Ariel either being dead or alive, regardless. There's some
in terms of the lyrics, I don't fucking care. Go ahead and change them. But it's the reason they're changing the lyrics, which pisses me off.
Reasoning. But that's where I was going. The reasoning is so stupid.
The dumbest shit
again, brainless.
Ever. It's so fucking dumb. Anyway, oh god. Yeah, I'm totally going to ChatGPT later and asking for a racially sensitive version of Song of the South. See what it spits out. I'll post it online.
That's
speaking of ChatGPT, I
that's gonna be goddamn hilarious. Oh wait, before you go any further, because you mentioned Little Mermaid, the movie that they snuck out really quick.
They snuck out a Peter Pan movie? I didn't even know.
Have you seen
what? Like a remake, a live action?
Oh yeah, they did.
Was it like
another live
straight
action?
To Disney? Like no, there's more than 4, dude.
Was
it straight
Peter
to Disney
Pan
Plus or something? Okay.
I think so, maybe. It was Jude Law.
Oh, I think I did hear about that. I didn't know it was out though.
People were pissed off because Peter Pan's like, I think he's an Indian.
Oh, of course. I mean, God forbid.
Which I didn't care too much about. I didn't care either way. But the movie makes Peter Pan the villain and makes Wendy pretty much the main character. And she pulls the power. They pull girl power literally in that movie. Like I used to like say, oh, these live action movies aren't necessarily woke, except for like Beauty and the Beast, maybe. But no, this movie, like they say all the stupid shit. They say
but they also
shit. And
they also made like, Peter Pan the villain and made him have darker skin.
Right? Then because like they made it so like Hook was a lost boy. No, I like this twist if you made like a dark fantasy version of it. But like Hook originally was a lost boy that wanted to leave, and Peter wouldn't let him leave. So he grew older and more angry. And Peter, to punish him, fed his hand to the crocodile, which is why Hook is so twisted and wants to get Peter Pan. If you made a dark version of that would be cool. And this, not cool. Tinkerbell, who's also
Black Tinkerbell! What? The world's gonna explode! Does she still have blonde hair?
Now, mind you. No. But you remember the relationship between Peter and Tinkerbell. Peter
Right.
can understand Tinkerbell.
Yep.
It's the only one who could. Now he can't. You find out in the movie that he's not listening to her. He can't understand her because he doesn't listen to her. He just makes up what she says. And Wendy is the first person to actually listen to Tinkerbell.
Oh, okay. That's all it takes. Just listening.
Because she
That's all it is.
took the time.
Yeah,
to
all you
got to
do is take the time to listen. You can understand other languages.
They almost say that.
You know,
like, as
I've
much
always
in the film.
I've always said to
they say that
myself,
much
you
in
know,
the film.
Matthew, if you want to learn German, if you just go to Germany and really take the time to listen to the people, you're going to pick it up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
You learn with your heart.
You don't learn with this.
Your heart.
You learn with this.
Why do they keep doing shit like this? Why? Oh.
It's just so. And then they added a character who's like a Native American girl because like all the kids are pulled out of time. So
okay, I get it. Different time frames.
Weird because there's no kids from the future necessarily, but they're just.
So it's like a bunch of American Girl dolls.
They're just pulling them from the past, right? Right, but it's just brats all of a sudden. But no, the Native American girl apparently, and mind you, I haven't seen it, and I really don't want to, but I watched like a review of it, where this girl was watching, was like, "What is this?" She speaks a Native American language, and no one understands her, but she doesn't know English. But apparently, she understands them.
Well,
I don't
what
get
the fuck?
Logistics of the character because
why didn't they just listen
she doesn't
to
speak
her?
English.
Why didn't they just listen? If they had just listened, they would understand her. That is the dumbest shit.
It was just so dumb. And again, Peter Pan is the villain.
Hey, look,
the fact that Peter Pan,
like you said, that could be like you could make a good dark twist movie out of something like that, sure. But I don't fucking know. Oh my god.
Yeah, but it's just, and literally is he's the villain because he's a boy. That's why, like they even said like, why do you call you the Lost Boys? You have girls. He goes, it just kind of stuck. So we didn't need to address that. We get it.
I don't know, buddy. I don't know. Yeah, real quick before we get into our topic, ChatGPT. I've noticed. I recently added on my Reddit threads ChatGPT and Midjourney and Stable Diffusion, all the AI stuff. Some, I've been into it, but I actually really think I'm gonna start working to learn how to use at least like Midjourney like really well, like how to really get what you're looking for out of it, because I think it's going to be just super important to know in the future. But anyway, there's a couple threads now on ChatGPT on Reddit. One in particular I read, but there's been a few with folks that are authors or content writers, really just, I don't know, maybe they're made up, but they're telling their stories, that they're losing their clients because their clients are all saying, hey, I'm going to go use ChatGPT instead of using you to produce content. And it really bothers me, to read these stories of these authors that are, and I've posted a couple comments essentially saying like, hey, look, I think we're going to see the pendulum swing back, just like everything. Like whenever something new and crazy comes out, everybody jumps on the bandwagon initially, and then eventually the pendulum comes back. And I really think that at some point, even with ChatGPT and some of these other Stable Diffusion, some of these other AI things, the pendulum's eventually going to swing back when people realize they're not quite what they actually think they need. ChatGPT is great. I mean, it can write good content, but we've talked about it. It lacks the human aspect, right? There's something, it feels ChatGPT.
It feels like diet.
And I think that eventually the pendulum's going to swing back where people realize, business owners, people who are out there actually hiring people to write content, are going to realize that. And the pendulum's going to start to swing back, and they're going to go, you know what? I really do need to get a human being to write this content. And the other thing I think is going to happen is ChatGPT put out their earnings, and they've lost shit tons of money. I mean, they're just bleeding and hemorrhaging money. They're going to have to start charging a lot of money to you. It's not going to be free forever. Eventually, they're going to start charging, and it's going to be expensive because it costs a fuck ton of money to run.
My thing is, I feel like ChatGPT is going to end up just being a utility.
I hope so.
to help writers not just phone in their work, especially if they are
Sure,
like
sure.
weekly writers or something like that, or it's going to help write like
Yes.
brochures or like really kind of straight. Where it sounds human enough, but is not
Right. No,
necessarily there. And it's really, I think it forces writers to just not phone
I think
things
you're
in.
right. But
Ultimately,
but
it
like
challenges them to not do that.
but
Or
I
ultimately,
want
that's what will
people
happen.
that are out there that do write content, that are maybe seeing the squash of ChatGPT above them, pushing them down or causing them to lose contacts or jobs.
Mm.
I think, like I said, either people, true business owners, true professionals, are gonna notice this is not the quality. And I had somebody tell me like, "Oh, people don't get. We're the TikTok generation. They don't care." I was like, "No, no, no. I work with business owners, and they are the most fucking
Yeah, they
annoying, picky fuckers in the world. They are crazy annoying and nitpicky about the dumbest shit.
Yes.
So they're going to be nitpicky about their content. And I think you're going to see it swing back for that. But the money itself, they are bleeding money at ChatGPT. In order to maintain this and continue to evolve it to where maybe it does get to the point that it actually is more humanistic, is going to cost a fucking ton of money. So they're going to have to start charging. And eventually they're going to get to the point where people are paying just close to as much as, if not as much as, they would for an actual human to do it. So I just hope people don't get too down.
Okay.
And then somebody else pointed out that really the main use of ChatGPT where it's really dominating is the SEO industry, where it's just bullshit content for SEO purposes. And that's all that market's already been fucked. It's already been fucked
kind
by
of,
writers from
yeah.
India, Southeast Asia that are doing it for super, super cheap. So, I mean, that's kind of already a problem to
Yep.
begin with.
Just pretty
Yeah.
much with a
So
dictionary
I
and
just hope people don't get. I know I've talked doom and gloom about it, but I hope people don't get.
they don't get too discouraged
Yeah.
into continuing their
Do what you
businesses and doing
love.
what
You
they
know,
need to do.
don't get discouraged and decide I'm not going to write or design
Yeah.
or illustrate or whatever anymore. I really think the pendulum's going to swing back the other way and even out. So anyway, that's it. I just wanted to say that because it was kind of heartbreaking to read some of these stories with people talking about it, and how it's affecting their income and their motivation and everything, which is to be expected. Anyway, let's get
Absolutely.
into our topic finally, because it's
All right.
yeah,
5
you're
minutes
gonna
of our
get about
topic.
5 to 20 minutes, maybe something like that.
It's time to begin the complaining.
All right, so our topic this week is, and I initially wanted to call it unnecessary conversation initiators, and then Joaquin smartly pointed out, you mean small talkers? And then in his head, he went, you dumb fuck. But that's our topic this week is small talkers. You know, those people that just feel the need to start a conversation with you when there's no need to start a conversation. And like, okay, you want to start? You want me to start?
At all. You
Look,
can start. This is yours.
I get it. You know, people are in like weird situations where maybe there's, you know, two people in an elevator and they think, oh, there's a, you know, a guy there. Let's pass the time by talking. And some people are uncomfortable with science. But come on, dude. Like when you're like on an elevator ride or you're standing next to each other in line to get coffee, you don't fucking need to start a conversation with me. I don't know you. I don't care to know you. I don't need you taking up space in my head later with whatever dumb shit you said, because chances are maybe you're going to say something that's going to live in my head for a little while and I don't need it. I don't need to remember you. I don't want to get home and be like, oh, that fucking guy that was talking to me in the line, because I know it's going to live in my head. I'm going to get home. I'm going to start bitching to my wife like this fucking guy wouldn't shut up on the elevator today. I can't fucking stand people that feel the need to fill silence with conversation. I don't like talking to people. I just don't, unless I know you. I like conversations with people I know. If I'm at a party, or oh my god, I have to go to a fucking wedding next weekend. Oh, I hate weddings. If I'm at a wedding and,
Yay.
well, I'm going to be with my wife, so I'll talk to her. But like, you know, if I'm at a party or something and there's nobody else for me to talk to and I find somebody to have a conversation with, fine. We'll make our small talk there. That's not small talk though. That's right. That's conversation. That's not even small talk. But you fucking people that
Conversation.
need,
Small
Yeah,
talk
you
has
people
no
like that need to
familiarity,
fill the
in my
fucking
opinion.
time or fill the silence. I like silence. I like when there's no noise. Gives me fucking pleasure. It makes me calm. Makes me feel meditative when there's no noise around me. I have kids running around my house most of the fucking day. It's loud. I like the silence. Don't ruin it with your inane bullshit. That's what I'm trying to say here.
See, for me, I get this effect. It's such a bad effect that happens, and it's happened to me more than once. So I know it's partially my anxiety when it kicks in. Is let's say I'll be somewhere, we're waiting in line or in an elevator or something. Somebody will start small talk with me, and I'll say something either like something off the cuff, really funny, really nice, whatever. But then they like pass the baton to me. So now I'm uncomfortable with the awkward silence because I already built my personal bubble and you popped it. You
Yeah.
popped that bubble. And now
Leave my
I'm
bubble
super
alone.
uncomfortable. And I'm like, oh God, now I have to fucking talk. Because they were expecting this friendly demeanor that they got out of me.
See, I'm the opposite.
And now I'm the super friendly guy that has to,
Not
have to
me.
say something, right?
Not
Or
me,
they're
and I
gonna
don't
give
care.
me that look. And I it makes me feel so bad that I have that pressure. Like I get all this extra pressure that I know is mainly
So
in
for
my
you,
own
it's
head,
the
but I
pressure.
can't help.
For you,
but
it's
to
the
have to
anxiety
say
and the
something.
pressure.
Oh no. Oh no,
Oh, okay.
There's more than that. I actually earlier today, because my wife and I we
Okay.
had to go to Jersey, and Jersey has what are they called? Not self-serve.
The people who
obviously.
pump your
The
gas.
gas
Yeah.
pumps.
Yeah.
The people who pump
Full
your
service,
gas.
there
I
you go.
forgot what full service.
Yep.
They have full service gas
Which is
pumps.
weird to me.
And there's this quick check. I said I originally went, I don't know why I like I don't like full service gas. You know what? I do know why I don't like full service. Because I don't like people. Because now I have to interact with somebody. So I go up and I sit in my car, I put my arm on the window because I'm trying to I build up this fake facade to be confident enough to talk to the person. And he makes a joke. I don't know what the joke was. I didn't give a shit what the fucking joke was. I was just trying to get through this interaction and let him know that I want $20 of gas in my fucking car so I could drive to my job site. And he says something. I make a quip, and he laughs. He's like this. He has to be like a 60-year-old biker looking dude. It was 80-degree weather. His hands were the coldest hands I have ever felt. How do I know his hands were cold? Because he was so comfortable with me. Because
he didn't shake your
of
hand.
the interaction we had, that he put his hands on my
a
arm
stranger
while he talked. He did that, hey buddy, yeah.
A stranger put his
that weird,
hand on you.
Overly friendly. And I am now more than uncomfortable. And I feel his cold fingertips groping my flesh as I'm waiting for him the car to fill up. He's not still doing it. It's just in my head.
I started this off saying I can't stand when somebody says words to me when I don't know them. You had somebody put their fucking hand on you?
And I was
would kill me
the whole day, bro. It's such a small
my
thing.
skin would crawl.
It was such a small thing. But I was just like, did he what? Did he have something on his hand?
Yes, right.
Touch me?
Especially
was he trying to tell me something
in a post-COVID world. Especially, what makes someone think they should put their hands on another human being they don't know in any way, shape, or form? Why would you do that? I would never
fucking day
ever put my hand on another human being I don't know in any way. If they had a fucking bug on their head, I wouldn't touch it to flick it off. I'd be like, yeah, you got something on your head there.
See, I have that problem. I do. If somebody has a weird hair or a bug, I try to tell them.
Well, at least you got a reason.
Passive aggressive. That I'm just let me just
see on the
I can't help it. If I know you, I won't even tell.
Well, that's fine.
I'll
if you were next to me and you're like, yo, you got a bug, and you just flick the bug off my head, I'd probably like, the fuck why are you flicking me in the head? And then you just say,
I usually say,
you do. You've done that to me before.
My wife hates it. I had some. Don't move.
You have done that to me
I'll
before.
say, don't move.
So I'm the opposite way though. You have.
Okay,
I
so
had
I
like
have.
a thread or something poking out of my shirt, and you did that. You said don't move, and you grabbed it. I'm the opposite though. Like you're trying to be overly
Yeah.
friendly. I mean, I told the story when I was at Staples not that long ago, and the person came up and tried to start talking to me, and I was just like, "Yep, like clearly, like, why are you fucking talking to me? That sentiment. Oh, dude, I would. Oh, just minor off. Sorry, I had to drop more packages off at Staples the other day, and I'm walking in at the same time as this other guy, and I was clearly going to get in first of him, and he speed walked to get in front of me. Was it? Well, yeah, we
No,
weren't
my
even in the store
God.
yet. He speed walked
Sorry.
to get in the store, but I had a bunch of packages in my hand, so he knew why I was going there, and he speed walked in front of me.
Oh,
No,
so
no, no.
was he
They're
trying to
automatic
open the
doors.
door
He
for
speed
you?
walked in front of me so he could get in the
Oh.
line
Oh,
first.
okay. So
And he was in front of me in line, and I got in, and I'm giving him the middle finger behind his back. I was so mad. And then I was so happy because somebody came over to assist because there were too many people waiting, and I was second in line behind this fucking guy. And she was like, "Are you dropping off packages, sir?" And he was like, "Oh, no, I need help at the desk." And she was like, "Oh, okay, you can come over." And she called me over for the packages. And I was like, "Fuck you, motherfucker!"
I see that. I imagine that look on
You know
your
what?
face.
Maybe I made it all up in my head. Maybe he wasn't
Just
trying to
the
beat
look
me.
on your face.
But I don't know why
Like that
else he
sweet
would have been
karma.
speed walking. I mean,
Really? You built me up that whole entire conversation. I'm on your side, and now you're telling
I'm
me
just
maybe
gonna
he
say
wasn't being a dick?
perhaps there's the off chance, but I don't know why else he would have speed walked to get in front of me in the fucking store. Anyway, so yeah, back to the people small talking. Yeah,
But yeah, no, small talk leads to shit like that. So I'm always paranoid. And it's just like one off with that. But with paranoid, that passing the baton, I don't want to
Well,
talk to anybody.
you're right. It
I
breeds
don't want to.
familiarity.
And,
You know, when you open yourself up like that, and you might end up with some asshole touching your arm.
dude, and what's even worse is like, even if I try to be mean or try to look mean, I'm short. Being short does not a
I
threatening
don't know.
person make.
I mean, I get what you mean.
I just people treat it when you're a short person that looks unthreatening. People think you're like
you're
a
not
chihuahua.
that short though.
I am not. I'm not tiny. I'm not okay. I'm closer to average height, but I'm on the shorter side.
I do understand your point though.
Because 5'8" is generally the average height.
I do understand your point though, because
day.
I am
5'6".
5'11", and I mean I'm heavy, but I'm not built. I mean I'm just a bigger dude, and I could see a guy that's like 5'2", and he could be just huge muscles, and I'll still look at him and be like, "Look at the little muscle man."
That's what I'm saying. Fucking okay. For instance, Kevin Hart. Right now,
Oh, is he
jacked as
for a movie
fuck.
or something?
And he's still.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, he's jacked. And he looks
That's
like
what I mean.
a toy.
Yeah, it's like still kind of look. I kind of see that whenever I see a short
so
person that's all
shit.
built, and I'm just like,
when I was
funny, you're still tiny.
Yeah, when I was in the military, the fact that how many people call me big guy, I fucking
Hey there, big guy. I'm gonna start calling you big guy.
And oh my god, that place is a
I'm gonna
breeding
start calling you
ground for
big guy.
small talk. That place is because you're standing in
Right.
formation with nothing to do. Like, especially if a drill sergeant or sergeant wants to fuck with you, and you're allowed to talk at some of those times, and they just like, "Hey, how you doing? Been here?" Like somebody's trying to be funny, be like, "Been here long?" Like, no, I don't want to talk to you. I'm angry. I'm hot. I have a wedgie. I'm chafing. I have to poop. I just want to stand here.
Well,
in my
okay, so to go back
state.
to the gas station employee, like I can understand from his side where. No. I'm sorry to bring it back up, but I can understand like when I go that guy's basically outside running from pump to pump all day by himself. So I could get it. Maybe he gets really bored. He just wants to have a conversation. So I mean, I guess I could kind of get where that comes from.
No, I understand.
But
and I'll admit, I was proud of myself when I came up with a clever comment.
It was clever though. It was fucking clever.
I'm just mad that it was so good.
So good. He had to touch your skin. At least he didn't grab your dick, you know? Imagine just reaching the car, he's like, "Hey, come on."
He had. Oh, I forgot to mention his hands were really cold. That stuck with me. But his hands for a gas station attendant that looked like a biker, like a Hell's Angel biker. His hands were so soft.
It was a
And it
costume.
was so uncomfortable because of how
It was just a
cold and
persona.
soft
He
his
was
hands
he
were.
wasn't actually a blue
Like,
collar biker dude. He was just a persona.
It was like if you took a marshmallow and you put it in the refrigerator and then you slathered it in lotion. That's what his hands felt
That's
like.
eerily accurate
It
sounding.
was super uncomfortable and soft.
Oh man, speaking of chafing, I decided I told you I go commando sometimes recently, right? I talked about that recently. I gotta stop doing that, man.
Yeah.
When I went out the other day and I was walking around, it felt like I had an
We're
egg
getting
in
older,
between
you
my
get-
legs.
Yeah.
They're
Only
just
when
like
the
right
summer
in
hits.
between my legs. It was very uncomfortable. I was like, I can't do this anymore. And the butt sweat too, you know.
I gotta keep it high. I gotta keep it high and tight because at this point I do not.
No,
need
I
gravity to
I
do
gotta
that
start
work for
wearing
me.
the pouch
I'm good.
underwear. I went through
The jock
Oh, I
straps.
could just wear a whole jock strap in a cup.
If you want to feel
Ultimate.
if you want to feel free,
I
wear
went
jock
through a
strap.
period like a year or two ago where I was just like, I gotta find more comfortable underwear, and I ordered like so many different types of underwear, and I was just returning them when I didn't like them, and then I found the ones with the pouch.
That is so
Well, no one else.
weird to me.
I think it's gross, but no one
to
else
me
is gonna wear them. I
specifically.
think the whole Bill Burr makes a joke, but like the
They
mat,
just
you can
burn
how
it.
you can like buy a mattress from these online shops and then in 100 days return it, and pillows. I went
Yeah,
through a pillow
true.
phase. Like it's
Yeah, that's true.
I went through a pillow
That's
phase where I was
fucking
trying to find a comfortable pillow because I couldn't find one. I ordered like 2 or 3, and the ones that weren't working for me, I returned, and they were having me send them like to a basically like a donation center. Like they had me ship it to so that somebody else would be
Yeah.
able to use it, and I was kind of like, gross. I guess they're gonna wash it or something. But yeah, I went through a whole underwear phase. I ordered so many, and then I found the ones with the little pouch for your balls, where it's like a separate sewn-in pouch, and then there's
I actually love.
yeah, me
I love
too.
box
That's what I
briefs
ended up using because it really is so much more comfortable. They had ones with like a separate sleeve for your dick too, and I was like, that's a little much. I mean, I don't need a dick sleeve.
No, see, here my thing is with like underwear with like
Yeah.
ball breathing technology. Like we know we've reached like a high land. We don't need to go
Yeah,
any
no,
better
no,
than
you're right.
that. Like that is like I remember when my dad introduced me to boxer briefs, and they didn't have
No,
they didn't even
it's
have
just
a
flat,
pouch.
yeah.
It was like a flat
Yep.
with the 2 holes on the side, and I was like, I love the boxer
put-
brief part, but
Right.
man,
Yeah,
there's no
and
work
you know
for
what's
my
funny?
balls.
I ended up buying a bunch of different versions, and some of them were a little more expensive. You know, the fancy brands that you hear advertised online. And I ended up happy with just like these Hanes ones that have a pouch, and they were the most comfortable of all of them. These cheap ass Hanes ones, of all the ones I tried.
I'm saying it right now. If we ever get like anybody,
An actual sponsor.
that want to sponsor
Yeah.
us, I want an underwear brand. I would love an animal like a
I
underwear
tried-
brand.
I tried all the
just
hot
like,
ones.
hey,
I
men's
tried
underwear, try it.
MeUndies
Like,
and
I
I can't even remember all the names. But
I've been
some
hearing
of they're
about them.
expensive. Like they're like $20-$30 for a pair of underwear. So I
Yeah.
had
No,
ordered
no, I
like one
wouldn't.
of each of a
Yeah, no,
well,
I just get
that was the
Hanes
funny
and
thing. Like,
Good.
I think I ordered like maybe 4 or 5 different brands, one to try, and the Hanes 3-pack that was like $12.99 with the pouch was the most comfortable. It just was. It was just
Yeah.
the one that was
The one habit I got from my dad specifically was I keep my underwear and
yeah,
socks
me
until
too.
they
Unfortunately,
disintegrate.
I
Like I have to get
yeah,
yelled
me
at
too.
to
I
get
literally
rid
had
of
to
them.
get rid of a couple old pairs of boxers, and I mean old, like they gotta had to have been 10 years plus old because I haven't bought boxers in forever. Because like the back was just like gone. Oh, hi there, wife.
He's not lying. I throw them out.
I've been throwing them out.
I had
He has been a little bit better.
I had a pair of sweatpants when I first started dating my wife. That literally the entire inside crotch and like leg area was gone. It was basically like chaps. There's just nothing, and I wore them
Now, mind you,
all
we
the
always
time,
talk
and
about,
my wife hated them.
No, the thing is, we always talk about like this, right? We talk about like the fact that we do it, but I'm perfectly fine with talking about why I do it. Because just like my dad, I find no reason in buying myself things when we can save that money to buy things for like
Yeah, that's a
kids
good
in the
reason.
house. So I rarely will buy myself pants or shirts or or underwear. Like that period in my life was when I was single and in the army.
Yeah.
So like 4 years, I was able to
Yeah.
buy stuff for myself. I don't really buy myself a lot of clothes, and underwear is like one of those things where they get changed out constantly. So they're kind of negligible.
Right.
So I'll just
Yeah,
wear them until they fall apart. Or until they start hurting me.
For me, with clothes,
thing.
I'll just keep the same clothes until either they're just completely fucking shot where they have holes in them and I literally can't. I mean, a lot of times I just sew them. Like if I get a hole in an armpit, I sew it.
Yeah.
Until they are either irredeemable as far as repair, or I'm too fat to fit in them anymore. That's when I get new clothes.
Okay.
One of those two reasons. Aside from my recent style change thing was like, I don't have any pants that aren't sweatpants, and my daughter's communion is coming up, and I need to buy a pair of pants that's my wife won't yell at me for wearing.
See, I just thought it was a midlife crisis thing.
It was partially midlife crisis too. So. It was like my daughter had come.
You said midwife crisis.
Midwife. It was a midwife crisis. Well, I mean, part of it was,
That's actually a good title
crisis
for a movie.
Coming soon to a theater near you. It's a midwife who's in crisis.
She was a simple midwife.
She didn't understand.
Her life is falling apart.
She didn't understand the tribulations of her job as a midwife. Then they fell in love.
Push.
She fell in love with the baby. They got married. Things were fine until puberty. I don't know where I'm going with that. That's my baby.
The judge hits the gavel.
I'll ask ChatGPT to write a movie called.
I didn't know I could marry.
That's the other ChatGPT prompt. I'm gonna prompt ChatGPT to write a movie called a Midwife Crisis.
Midwife Crisis.
Oh, that's funny shit.
See, this is
just bullshit. We're gonna make up dumb fucking movies, and well, the writers. So, do you know the Writers Guild's on strike? Did you read about that?
Yes, I do know that.
Yeah, God, I remember when the last one happened and like all the shows shut down. There were like really short seasons. Anyway, it did. Oh, we talked about this before, didn't we? Maybe we were talking about this off air. I don't know.
Yes,
that's right. But I guess one of the things they're specifically requesting is that AI will not be used to write scripts, like very specific stuff. And I was just like, it's good. Absolutely. But in my head, I was like, but does that matter? Like if they get to the point where they can use if they do get to the point where they can use ChatGPT to just literally write scripts, they don't fucking need them anymore. So like, all right, sorry, you're fired. Bye. Like, who cares? Like,
well, my thing is, I feel like it'll assuage fears. And fears can really like corrupt.
I mean, I guess you're right.
So while you're worried about that, you're not doing your
job. But like,
if
I'm an employee and my contract says, hey, I'm not going to replace you with a robot. And then they go, oh, we can now replace you with a robot. I guess your contract doesn't matter to us anymore. We don't care. We don't need you. We don't have to have a contract with you anymore.
Well, that's why the guild is such a big thing, because that's why like certain businesses don't like unions, because unions force.
Well, I mean, I guess in fairness, even if ChatGPT gets to the point where it literally can write a movie and a TV show well, there still have to be some human intervention to edit and overlook it and read it over. And
an editor,
that guild as a whole can be like, that guild as a whole can be like, fuck you, we're not going to do any of that shit if you use AI. So that makes sense. No, that's good.
So, because you're not going to get
right.
AI to edit.
I mean, that's the whole point of having a union, is to make sure shit like that doesn't happen to you. So hopefully, but like I said, these freelance content writers I'm reading about on Reddit, it's just fucking, it just kills me.
No, I any commenter or journalist online, I feel like is just trying to get their big break so they can
I guess you're right. I don't know. So yeah, you got anything else we want to talk about before I have to go catch the bus? Big guy.
No, just if you meet any other parents out there I hate you so much.
Sorry, parents what?
You actually got me with that one. No,
come on, what are you going to say? No, because
Have a good day,
no,
guys.
come on.
Take care of each other. Be nice and avoid
Yes,
small
avoid
talk.
small talk like the plague. Well, you know, when you get up, give me the finger, and walk away, and then sit back down, it kind of defeats the purpose. Peace.